Hello everybody, thank you for joining this presentation. So I'll discuss about Oxygen AI Positron, and I'll tell you a few things about our plugin, and I'll focus on how you can use this plugin to verify automatically and correct problems. And I will show you some examples and some use cases that you can have, and how you can create your own verification, let's say. So first, a few things about me. I'm working at Synchrosoft for over 20 years. I'm almost from the beginning. I'm project manager, and I'm also contributor to different open source projects, speaker to different conferences, and co-editor of the Schematron quick fix specification developed within the W3C group. So this is the agenda of the presentation. We'll discuss about how you can use AI, how you can automatically verify content using AI and Schematron. I'll show some actions that we have for verification in Oxygen, but also how you can implement some actions to run this automatically verification, and how you can correct problems also. The benefits, and also we can check the challenges that you have when you use this. So first of all, what is AI? So it's a branch of computer science that deals with simulation of intelligent behavior in computers, and now has been developed a lot. And for text processing, we have these large language models that can be used for text summarizations, natural language processing, text generation, machine translation, also image generation. So probably everybody knows some LLMs that are doing stuff like processing text now. Oxygen AI Positron. So this is a plugin that we developed for a while, and this provides support while you're editing documents in Oxygen. And we have support for content suggestion as you are editing, or auto-completion, contextual assistance when you are editing, also error detection and correction. You can also personalize, so you can make your own action, and we provide some frameworks to develop your own actions to have it. You can check the Positron page on our website if you want to find more information about this. It's available in Oxygen desktop application, also in the web application. And there are different versions depending on what you need. You can have like for individual use, or you can have for business use. And depending on this, you can use our own AI service, or you can use your own internal large language model. And this enterprise for business use is included in the enterprise edition of Oxygen standalone version, all of them. So either developer or author or Oxygen XML editor. Verifying documents using an AI model, it's useful to check, for example, to check if a text is easy to read and understand, or if the spelling is correct, or if you have active voice or passive voice, or if the text is according to a style guide that you define. So you can define some rules that you can enforce then to your documents. And for example, we have here a text that says, okay, Oxygen XML editor can be used on Windows and Mac OS X. And then at the end, it says something that can be used also on Linux. So it's not an easy text to read. So you'll not know that, okay, you need to know, first of all, that Oxygen can be used on Windows, Mac OS X, and Linux. So it's hard to read. And you can check, for example, using Oxygen and using the action that we provide, if a text it's easy to read and understand. And you can do this, for example, in the chat view. Just let me copy the sentence from here. So you can just have a question about this text. If I get okay. And then if I go to Oxygen, to the chat view, I can say, okay, I want to check if this text is easy to read and understand, and I can just paste the question here and send this request to the AI. And I get a response that says, okay, this text can be made easy to read and understand, and I can get also this information about the text to be written like this. I can get also a preview with what changed, and it has some specification there that okay, you can use this to you can use Oxygen. You can use Oxygen on Windows, Mac OS X, and Linux this time. So it's much easier to read this content. And there are also other actions that you can use, and we provided here in the Oxygen view. These are built-in actions that we provide. And you can use, for example, to proofread the text or to correct the grammar, to use active voice, and you can use these actions like built-in actions, but you can also develop your own actions, your own verifications, and you can also have a chat with the AI about some of the information that you have in your document. So you can also use AI to correct the document, right? So you can, okay, so you can say, make the text easy to read and understand, and you'll get the text as you've seen in our example. Even if I type this, I will get the response directly like a paragraph, so I can replace directly the content here. So I can ask the question, get a response with the detailed information, but I can also say, okay, make it easy to read and understand, and I get a similar response, but this time just the content that I want. And I can insert it in the content, and I correct the string. Then you can also correct the grammar, and also here you can use the chat, but you can also use the predefined action that we have. You can also say, okay, I want to rephrase it, maybe to have 20 words. And in this case, you can use the chat, but you can also have your custom action that will provide you this, maybe depending on what you need. So maybe you need short description to have 200 words, or maybe a short description to have 20 words. So you can define your own custom action to correct this and to rephrase your content as you want. And the AI will give you the information as you've seen. You get the input like this, and then you'll get an output where it says that Oxygen can be used on Windows, Mac OS X, and Linux. So it defines exactly what I need to learn from the phrase that I have above, and it's a little bit complex to understand. But the idea is that you can also make these verifications automatically. So, okay, you can do this manually, you can have actions, you can chat with the AI, but what if you can check this automatically without need to perform something, some manual checks or some manual corrections? And for this you can use Schematron, because Schematron allows you to check different parts of the document. So you can define exactly what you want to check from your document. And you don't need to highlight something, or you don't need to pass the entire content. You can define exactly, maybe you want to check the short descriptions from your document. Then you can add a rule that will verify your short description to be 20 words, or to use passive voice, or if you use passive voice or active voice, and so on. And Schematron, it's an ISO standard. I don't know if everyone knows Schematron. How many of you have used Schematron? Oh, there are a couple. Okay. I will show you some example how these rules are made and how you can come use them. And then you can use Schematron quick fixes. Schematron quick fixes are definition of fixes to solve the problems reported by Schematron. So it's like an extension of Schematron that defines how to solve a problem. And also in this situation, you have exactly the place where you want to solve the problem, and you define that you want to change the content from the short description, right? Or the paragraph, or the title, or so on. So you can define exactly what you want to change. And this helps you because you control what is sent to the AI and what you get back. So how we implement this, so this is based also on Positron add-on. So if you install the Positron add-on, you'll have also access to these functions. One is that allows you to verify the content, and you specify an instruction how you want to verify. You do use passive voice here, and then the content. And you can also have some more information here that I'll tell you more about later if you want to have more complex prompts. And also a transform content function that will allow you to correct the content. Also here you can have an instruction like, okay, make this to use active voice, or make this to correct to be more easy to read and understand, and then the content, and you get as output a string from the AI that will be inserted in your content. And also here for verify content, you get a result as Boolean, because you need to verify if the content is as you want. It uses passive voice, it's correct grammar, and you get a Boolean value true or false. How this function works, so you have like a built-in prompt that we provide in Positron. Added an example here, so you can we define something like you are a technical writer, so you define like a persona, and you need to respond with true or false. So we want to also have a result that it's true or false, and then we pass the information that it's added in for the verification. So it's this using passive voice. So we add the context to this, and then the question and the answer. Then for transform content, it's similar. You have an instruction that has also a predefined system input, like you are a developer and you need to perform the following task, and then you can pass the task that needs to be performed. So you pass the task, okay, rephrase to use active voice, and then pass the content. Of course, here it's important to know how to write these prompts, and it's important to try different use cases, how to correct and write these prompts, and there are different strategies to write these prompts. So it gives you the ability to write your own prompts depending on what you want to do. And I'll show you some examples how you can use this. So first example was this with the active voice, with the text if it's consistent. So I have this text here, and I can create a rule for this paragraph to verify if the content is easy to read and understand. So what I do, I define a Schematron rule that matches this paragraph, and then calls the function, and in the function I just add the question that I want to ask. So it's not very complicated. You just need to use this function, ask the question, and pass the content of the paragraph here as input. And then if I validate, for example, this file, this is validated with a Schematron file that I showed you earlier, that I showed you in the description. I'll show you also how the Schematron looks. So it's here. it says, okay, verify content, it's text easy to read and understand, and then when it fails, it gets you this message, the text is not easy to understand. And added as a warning here, right? So I automatically get this problem when I validate the document, so I don't need to select the content. I can define exactly what paragraph I want to check or what documents I want to check, and I can verify only these documents or only that paragraph that maybe I'm not allowed some of the text to be checked or sent to AI, or maybe I want to check different parts of the documents differently. And then I can define also how to correct the problem. So instead of telling the AI, okay, correct me the problem, I can define a fix that allows me to correct the problem automatically. And I can do this with a Schematron fix, Schematron quick fix. And here I use the transform content function. So I can say correct the text to be easy to read and understand. And here I pass the content of the paragraph. So this is how you define a fix for a Schematron assert. And to link them, you have this ID. I don't know if everyone knows how to create Schematron rules, but there are these two things that, let's say, basically you need to know. You have an assert, you define a context, and then for the fix, you define an ID to refer it how to fix the problem. And here you have a replace action that will replace the text from the paragraph with the one that it's from the AI. And I can apply this fix using this action here. So I have this action here that says correct the text to be easy to read and understand, and it does the same thing that I did using the chat window. And then now if I validate it, it tells me that now the text is easy to read and understand. So you can define your own checks depending on how you want to write it. Of course, you need some skills to write the checks, but it gives you the possibility to write your own verification, and it gives you the possibility to target the places that you want to check or you want to correct, right? Or maybe you want to generate content or so on. And there are other examples, for example, with active voice. So you can check if active voice is used, for example, for a short description. Maybe you want your all short description to use active voice. Then you can define for all your project a rule that will say, okay, I need to use active voice in my short description. And this will be something like this, match the short description and just pass AI verify content with this active voice used here, right? So you define for all your project, okay, active voice is used, and then you can validate automatically your documents. I have some example here. So I can validate these, and it says that active voice is not used in my paragraph, in my short description. And then I can also define a quick fix that will allow me to correct this to use active voice. And similarly, you say, okay, I want to reformulate to use active voice here, right? So you just pass some prompt for from the quick fix, and you can also correct this problem. And I can run it from here for my paragraph, and now it uses active voice for the paragraph. And there are also other example with the paragraph that needs to answer to a question. So the idea is that you want, when you define something, that the user will understand it, and the user will know how it will respond to the user with to the question that he wants. So maybe you want the content that you have in the topic or in a section to respond to some questions. So you can have some verification. Does this answer to these questions? And you can have a verification like this one. So for example, maybe you get a section with an ID or a paragraph with an ID that defines something, right? Like here, let's say I have a paragraph about OpenAI, and I want to answer to the question, what is OpenAI? So this is why I write this paragraph. So if someone else tries to rewrite it or change it, then I know that it will not answer to my question otherwise. And it's similar, so you have this verification with the question, I think it's here. Yes, and I can validate. It says that this doesn't answer to the question, what is OpenAI, because it says something that OpenAI develops something, so it doesn't answer to my question. And then I can correct this also using AI. And now it says that OpenAI is an organization that does some things here. So similarly, you can have a fix that will correct this problem, and you use the same type of quick fix. So you define a quick fix that will replace the text with the transform content, and you say, okay, reformulate the text to answer to the question, what is OpenAI? And of course, here you can enlarge your prompt. So you need to respond to the following questions, and this helps. Then also the AI systems when they read your documentation. So if an AI system will know that your paragraph or your content answer to your question, then when you ask a question and you query your documentation, will get you this information much easier. So there are a lot of advantages of using Schematron. And Schematron checks. So you can verify automatically. You can define for your project some rules, and you can call these functions. You can define exactly what you want to verify in your documents, and you can control what is sent to the server. So when you define these rules, you can control exactly what you verify and what is sent to the AI system. And this is good for you. And you can automate this process, so you can run it maybe on a server, or you can run it when you commit something. So you can also automate these checks. Of course, there are challenges. One of the challenges would be a high cost. For example, if you use an AI system like OpenAI, and if you are, for example, using validation as you type in Oxygen. So if you are using validation as you type, then every time you type something, it will go to check. So you don't want this. So you've seen in my verification, I use manual validation just to show you that you can do it like this. Of course, if you have your own model, then the cost will be will be nothing for you, because it will be your model that it's queried, and you can make multiple requests maybe to your model. And you can define this depending on your how you want to use. And the response also cannot be instant from the server, so sometimes maybe the validation will take a while. If you are using OpenAI or other system, then probably longer. In my case, I use OpenAI, so you see it's faster now, faster and faster. So it responds faster and faster, but of course this depends on the server. And this response can be inaccurate, so sometimes you need to change the prompt, or maybe make some changes after an update of the engine, stuff like this. So you need to check these rules, and maybe you can have some tests that will allow you to make sure that your verification are correct. And also for the quick fixes, so you can use AI to correct the content. You control exactly the content that you sent and the content that is inserted, and where is inserted. So AI will not insert it wherever it wants. It will insert it where you want. The response also here is not instant. The cost is not so big to solve problems, because it will be done only when you call it to solve the problems from your document, and also you need to check sometimes the response to verify if it's correct. You can reduce the cost, let's say, or you can use maybe you don't use validation as you type, but you can also implement some of the rules directly using Schematron built-in without AI. So for some of the checks, I recommend to use directly Schematron. The cost will be much cheaper. So an example would be, okay, I want the description to have 50 words. So yeah, I can do this with AI. I will get a response, but I can also create a rule that will count the number of words from my document, from my paragraphs, or short description. So I can define how to the number of words here, and I can get the problem, and then I can use AI just to reformulate to use 50 words. So it helps me to summarize, let's say, or extend my description depending on how many words I have there. And in this case, you can use the transform content function. And this is useful because, let me check number of words here. This is useful because now I can use automatically validation. So if I use the count function in Schematron with the checking the number of functions, I will not call the AI. I will just have this check, and then I can use AI just to reformulate my content and to apply the fixes. So, and will be like more easy to me, and the cost will not be so big. And I'll show you later how you can also create this rule easy with AI. Another example would be to create structured content. So let's say you have some lists that are written with dashes, and then you can say, okay, if in my paragraph I have some dashes, this means that I need to have a list. And then I can have a quick fix that will create me a list from the dashes from the paragraph. And for this I can use AI. But this time, because I'm inserting structured content, I need to have this disable output escaping when I insert the content in the paragraph. And I'll show you an example how this is it. So I have this list here. So I have some content with some dashes, and I can have a check, and then I can use AI to correct the content and insert also structured content here. You can also use you can allow user to insert the prompt directly. So you can have some fixes, and this time you can allow the user to insert how he wants to correct the prompt. So for some of the problems, let's say you want to you don't want to allow some terms or some words in your document. So I don't want to have Wi-Fi term here, let's say. And I can give a control to the user to say how he wants to solve this problem. I can propose something or reformulate to use to replace this term with other one, or I can have like a built-in prompt for the user, but he can also insert its own cont, so remove this Wi-Fi word from here or replace it with other information. And I'll show you how this works. So have here, this one, the term one. So here I have the Wi-Fi term here, and I can apply an action, and I have a default here that says that reformulate the phrase to replace ambiguous words, but I can reformulate and say maybe reformulate phrase and replace Wi-Fi with other terms, for example, or other solutions. So you can use AI together with the prompt from the user, but have it like built in there. And in this case, you need to use these user entries from Schematron quick fixes that allows you to get an input from the user, but you can also specify like a default phrase for the user. You can also create these rules automatically using AI. So you don't need to have it created by yourself. You can use AI to generate this. And we provide also this development action that allows you to create, assert, or checks directly. So, for example, this can be based on a prompt, or you can have a comment in your document, in a Schematron document, and we have some development action here that will explain the code, chat about code, but you can also generate code based on some prompt that you have. And here I can say, okay, I want an assert that verifies the number of words to be 10. So I get an assert. So it's easy to just have it there. Or have an assert that verifies if the text is an email. So I can use also AI here and say, okay, I want to generate the code for this, and I have an assert that has a regular expression that verifies if the text is an email. And AI is very good also on generating code. So it's very good on generating a regular expression. And now if I apply this to my documents, it will verify, and it will fail if text it's not an email from there, or this verifies if the text has this format with a date. So you can have a lot of checks, different checks that you can define. So this will help you to create your rules and then maybe use AI to solve the content. But I have another solution to generate the fix. So, okay, you can have a rule that will verify the content, and you can have a Schematron quick fix that will correct the problem, but you can also have a generated quick fix. So based on the message that you get from the error and the location of the problem, you can generate a fix using AI and correct the problem directly in the document. So you can have a prompt like this that we provide in Positron, and that corrects the problem reported with the short description that exceeds 50 characters. And I'll show you some examples here. So I have some document here, and has different problems with a bold that is not allowed here, or with some links that are not correct, are using HTTP instead of HTTPS, some table layout that is not correct, right? So, for example, I can say, okay, I have these problems with some missing cells in the table, those with gray, and I can use this AI Positron fix that will take the content, take the error description, and then will generate a fix for me here. And if I preview this modification, here is the proposed changes. It generates the table, the correct table. So I didn't do anything. I just had the error message, the position, and then if I send this to the AI and get it back with the AI fix, I get the table layout made correctly. And then I just apply this to my document and everything is correct. So I can solve these problems very easy, also using this AI fix without the need of creating an SQF fix, right? So another solution will be this. Okay, you can develop your own rules. You can use AI to develop your own rules. And then you can use AI to solve the problem reported by Schematron, but not necessarily. Can be also reported by other type of errors. Can be structure errors reported by DTDs or by schema, so on. The important thing here is how the error is structured. So if it's ambiguous error, it's hard for the AI to solve it. If you describe exactly what happens in the document, what's the problem, then the AI will know to solve it. So of course here are some advantages. So you can use these AI fixes, and you can you don't need to have your own Schematron quick fixes, but you need to write as much as possible the error message, and especially in the Schematron where you can write the error message by yourself. You can write it. You need to write it correctly in order for the AI to know how to fix it. There will be some challenges here if you want to make modification in other places, and the AI maybe will not make the correct insertion sometimes. So it will know only about the context of the error. Will not know anything else. With a Schematron quick fix, you can make maybe other changes in the document as you solve one problem. So there are some challenges here depending on how you are using it. Another interesting thing is that you can apply all the fixes. So if you have Schematron quick fixes or other type of fixes, you can apply all the fixes from your project and get all the fixes solved. This is something that is not yet released, so it will be in the next version, I think in 2 weeks or something. But the idea is that you can select, for example, some of the files that you want to apply the fixes, or the entire project, or your entire data map, depending on what you want to do. And then you have this action here in the refactoring that will say apply all quick fixes proposal. You can, in my case, I selected some resources, but you can apply it on the current file, the project, data files, all open files. So you have different type of checks. I cancelled by mistake. Let me do it again. So I will apply the fixes. Okay, I will save the action. And in this case, we have fixes that are calling the AI, but also fixes that are built in. And you have here the files with the changes that were made when I corrected the fixes. And then I can check this as I want, and then I can just apply the result. So this is another interesting thing, because you can correct all the problems from your document just by defining how you want to correct them. You can also use more complex interaction. So using these functions that we provide, you can have a more complex interaction with AI. So you can say, okay, I want to get to create a marketing post, right? So I can do it just by calling the AI to create a marketing post from this, but I can also ask the AI to give me 3 variants of the post. And then for each one, I can ask again the AI to give me the strong point, the advantages and disadvantages from this. And then based on this information, ask again the AI to get me the best marketing post. So using this action, you can also make more complex interaction with AI. So you have this user and assistant information that you can pass, like a history of discussion with AI. So you can have multiple discussion and have a history of discussion, and then when you ask the AI, it will know about what you discussed earlier, and it will give you a better result. And I can show you something. So one of my colleagues created a project, and based on these functions, it's this one here. So he created a framework that uses these functions to have a discussion with AI, and you can have here some prompts with a discussion about some of the topics. Then you can have translation to different languages, and then you can continue the discussion with AI. For example, you can say here, translate to Japan, let's say, and then I can run the engine, and the engine will translate to Japan, but it will use also the context from the previous conversation. So it will know that I translated to English, that I translated to German first, and it will know also the German and the English translation. So it will have more context, and you can have more elaborate context with using this. And this is based on some custom actions that he provided here with some XSL. So it just runs the engine using this transform context function and passes more information to the function in order to have this interaction. So you can also develop complex actions here. Okay. So as a conclusion, let's say AI is constantly growing and new models are running, and you can do a lot of things. You can implement a lot of actions, but you can also use this automatically fixes using Schematron quick fix or using Schematron to verify documents using AI, and this will help you to spot exactly the places where you want to correct the problems or what you want to correct from your document. Added here some resources, and I have also some time for the questions if you have questions regarding this topic or ideas about using. Yeah?
Yeah. Maybe this is a specific one, but I'll just go for it. So next year in the European Accessibility Act, like pictures need alt text, and I just saw in the ribbon that you can create alt text for existing images. My question is, for an entire like root data map, can you say create an alt text based on the content that is written before? Because obviously I can't just search everything and just paste it, and that doesn't make any sense, right? There has to be like some dynamic interaction. So is it possible to set alt text for every single picture in the entire document?
Yeah, in fact we have some built-in action for this, so I didn't present this because it was not on my agenda, but I don't know if my colleague presented earlier. So I will show you. So we have, let's go to this project. We have some refactoring action based on EAI. So here in the refactoring, you have AI refactoring. And here you have different actions that you can perform. So you can perform, you can generate, for example, index terms, you can resolve comments, make translations, and also you can generate this or alternate text in all the images. And this can be performed directly on the data maps. It will automatically take all your data map, will find the content, and then will provide you a preview to accept it. So yeah, we have also this based on the built-in action that we have. You can run it, and I think rather you can also run it with custom actions. If you define a custom action, can run in batch or not?
Custom action like an auto action or?
No, custom like an AI action.
I need to think about this, but yeah, the refactoring way of doing things should be okay.
Yeah.
Multiple files.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, thank you.
Just to confirm that this is probably a general need, the question you asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we would be rather grateful if there was a part.
Of course, you can also implement this with Schematron. So you can have a rule that applies on your data and says, okay, if you don't have an alternate, create one, and you can use AI to create one, and then apply all the fixes from your document, and we'll do a similar thing. Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
These, maybe I missed it at the very beginning, but these Schematron AI actions that you showed just now, they also use what you could interactively run using the Positron assistant, or is that something else?
Yes, so this is is through Positron. So uses Positron. It's something that Positron provides, and yeah, if you have Positron, it's only available right now in the desktop version. So I know that you are trying to use in the web, but right now it's only in the desktop version. So you can use these functions to. So you just, if you have the Positron plugin installed, you have these actions available. So you can, when you create a schematron, you'll have a content completion, and you can use this action.
And then the difference between having that coded inside the schematron message as opposed to just using it from the manual would be that the schematron runs automatically on your content, or what is the difference between running a improve readability action as opposed to having it as a schematron?
So the idea with schematron is that you can say, okay, I want to improve readability in some of the paragraphs, or check whatever I want. So I can control what I want to check, but I can also improve readability in all the content, right? So I can define the entire topic, but I can define also some paragraph that I want to improve readability for. So this will be the challenge. But you'll have to write a prompt, because the improved readability prompt that we have in Oxygen, the built-in action, probably so it's better than just typing a phrase. So you need to type more than a phrase when you say improve readability. So you need to act as a
just any example. That was the one that came to my mind.
Yeah.
So coding it as a schematron action would
focus
it on specific elements in
yeah, you can control where you want to apply this, where you want to fix the problem, where you want to verify something. Yeah, this is, and then you can run it on a server, or you can run it automatically on the entire project. So this is another use case. So yeah, for automatization and for checking exactly, this will be a better approach than checking each paragraph manually. So yeah.
Right.
So we are on the end of time.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming. So if you have questions.